Hello, everyone, from me and the sexy gentleman you can see above me, below me, around me, and so on. Welcome to this episode of Experts and Idiots. Today we have an interesting, maybe slightly self-indulgent, but very interesting one for us chili dudes. Today, what we have for you is we have the hot sauce CEO chili blowout powwow. That's what we got today, boys and girls. Hey, John, what do you think? It's like a jazz riff saying those fucking words, huh? It's
beautiful. Trying to get.
It's a challenge, yes. And I am joined today by three of my favorite gentlemen, each one of them a CEO of their own chili company in their own right. And me, well, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm the idiot who runs 420 Chili Company. I'm CEO here, of course. Been around for a few years now, but the gentleman with the interesting baseball cap you can see here is the CEO of Abenteuer Chili, which translates to English as Adventure Chili. That's Oliver. And he, my friends, is a bit special for me because Oliver is my mentor. When I knew nothing, he helped me know slightly less than nothing. And then when he watched me doing things, he pissed himself laughing at what an idiot I was and managed to correct some of them. Oliver, would you like to tell everyone in television land a little bit about you and Abenteuer Chili, please?
Okay, so you heard it. You introduced me already. I'm the head of Abenteuer Chili in Harrodsburg, Germany. Myself is, I'm an Austrian living in Germany. Had long times problems to eat chili because I didn't know how what's wrong. I had stomach problems, so I want to know why and etc. So I tried everything, grew chilies up and made some sauces and so on. And it became a business now 8 years ago. And yeah, still experiencing. Every day is learning. So
8 years of madness. You've got 8 years under your belt now, Oliver. Is that correct?
Yep.
I love it. First time I met Ollie, it was pouring with rain. And he hated me. And it took a short period of time until he hated me slightly less, but then I made him hate me more. But over the years, I think, or I hope, I've made him hate me a bit less. Ollie, do you still hate me or not so much?
I love you, man.
Oh, he's so sweet. And as you can see, I've got two sexy young men next to us as well. Who'd like to go first? Oh, I think the hand movement from Tom suggests he's ready. So this is our boy, Tom, CEO of White Whale Sauces, straight out the Netherlands. Tom, tell us all a bit about yourself and the firm.
Yeah, so I don't have 8 years yet. I'm not even hitting 1 year. But yeah, I'm loving the journey so far. It's making sauces, coming up with new stuff, trying to sell it. It's like everything is amazing about it. Finding new people. Like I love you guys so much. Like having a community. It's amazing.
That's super. And I must say, I've eaten some of Tom's flagship sauce, the lemon hella. That stuff is so good. My first instinct was I need to sell that myself. And that was my first step there right in. And Tom's such a freak that Tom actually asked me to do the voiceover in German for his German advert. That's how much of a freak he is. So there you go. Trusting is what he is. And here, the other beautiful young man you can see, I'm surrounded by so much sexiness. It makes me feel so sweaty and ugly today. It really does. So over there, you can see lovely John, or Johnny, as I should say, CEO of Uncle Johnny's Hot Sauce. coming straight out of Kast in Germany. Johnny, tell the team something about yourself.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm John. I'm originally from America, United States of America, from Boston area. I am my profession, real job, it's actually not a real job, is a musician. I get to play for work, but yeah, and I've always loved to cook and always loved spicy food. My family in the States is Portuguese, and so we usually have some pretty spicy foods around the house and, you know, family stuff. And always loved chili and hot sauce. And I started cooking my own in 2019. And yeah, is working as a musician. You know, everyone knows when Corona happened, then all my work was like literally overnight gone. And so I decided to try to kick the hot sauce into high gear, and just, you know, launched officially, got it moving in April. So it's, you know, brand new, and it's going pretty well. And that's why I'm so excited to, you know you guys, and to already be at the Chili Fest in Berlin this weekend. And it's been pretty cool so far. And I know we're just getting started, so it's yeah, happy to be here, as they say.
Yay! And as I told you all out there in television land, we have not just got our Chili CEOs. Today we're going to have a powwow, a Chili blowout powwow. Each one of us has a weapon from our own artillery. I've got a working glass of my classic sauce. Johnny, what you got there?
This is a prototype of a new smoked Uncle Johnny's.
It's a smoked. What, Johnny, send me a bottle of it so I can steal the idea.
Okay, no problem. It's really nice. It's we switched the you've got cayenne and habanero in more in the original. There's more cayenne than habanero. In this one we switched it, so it's hotter and smoked, and it's pretty good.
How'd you get the smoky flavor? For our smoked, I used chipotle.
My brother-in-law, he owns a smoker. And so we actually smoked the habaneros and for like 4 hours in there in a smoker. So yeah,
that's
really
an impressive fucking thing. I wish I could say I smoked the chilies in this one, but I didn't. My classic, this is a classic from 420 Chili, mainly with flavor notes of mango and raspberry. And my chili in here is predominantly Carolina Reaper. That will be the hottest thing in the world, with a little backup flavor coming from the red Savina, which is the hottest habanero, which comes in at 450,000 Scovilles.
To help out, just to help out a little.
Just to give a little bump, you know. And Tom, my dear boy down there, tell the team, what's your weapon today?
I also have a new sauce in process. It's the one that we talked about last time, based on the mole, Mexican mole. It's mostly dried peppers, chipotle, ancho, guajillo, a lot of nuts, some fruit, and a whole bunch of roasted and toasted spices. Whoa. It's actually a little milder than lemon hello, because last time not have a good time here. I wanted to take it easy. But yeah, like, yeah, I find it amazing, but we'll see what the people think.
Oh. Yeah, for those of you who didn't see it, my boy Tom drank a complete bottle of his flagship sauce, the Lemon Hala, last time we met, and it caused him to make that face. Yeah, the face you've just seen him make, he made repeatedly and for a long period of time. And Ollie, young Oliver over there, has the most colorful inputs. Tell us what's your weapon.
First of all, I don't smoke chilies. I tasted, but it wasn't really good. I don't have a smoker, you know. Okay, I have one of my newest products now. It's the new Kukulkan. I had it before, but I changed the receipt. The idea is a little bit from Ecuador, and the green is the jade of the Mayans. That's why Kukulkan. This is the sun god, the god of reincarnation. Yeah, let's say about it's about 90% habanero, and some fruits like pineapple, orange juice. I have to read it. Peach, yeah. The nice thing about this, it is sweet sour in the first. In the middle comes very strong peachy, and in the end you get your nice habanero touchdown.
Cool.
Love it, Ollie. Absolutely.
90%. That's.
And Ollie, I have to ask, Oliver is my mentor, and he shared with me many years ago a secret about how to make things a beautiful green color. Oliver, am I allowed to share that secret, or is it top secret and I can't say it?
It's written
it's
on it.
It's okay if it's top secret, Ollie.
It's written on it. No,
oh, right then. Ollie, you can share it. Tell the boys here what's the expert secret as to how to make something exactly green as you want.
Blue curacao.
Blue curacao.
You just get the ground colors are pineapple. It's a little bit like whitish, and you have the orange juice or the yellow habanero. And this is habanero lemon. And if you get your a nice yellow color with blue, it's green. Easy. Just a little bit, but
yeah.
Because
Oliver is the reason why I managed to produce a lovely green absinthe sweet sour, which looked like an old lady's pants until I introduced some of the blue curacao in there, and then it looked like a kind of hippie's psychedelic dream on Haight-Ashbury in the late 1960s. It was fabulous. Ollie, thank you for that wonderful piece of advice. Well, all right, team, this is a chilly blowout, so I guess it's time for a hit of medicine, isn't it, eh? Why don't we get rocking, shall we? Gentlemen, I'm taking a big, thick old spoon of this reapery stuff right here, you can see.
Drink it like that.
I have to get first some look about this green.
Oh, look at that
wow.
color. All right, boys and girls. Hello, gentlemen, Schlonte, very good health.
Namaste.
Fuck.
It's nice though.
You regret this yet, guys? I do. Fuck it up. Oi. So, Oliver, you gave me wonderful advice when we first met that rainy day in the market. So tell me, Oliver.
You look like Chilli Klaus.
I look like Chilli Klaus. You're nice, aren't you? Oliver, I got John, I got Tom here in relatively the same position I was when I first met you. So what would you say would be your first piece of advice to these two new CEOs here, mate?
Can you repeat your question?
I said, so you gave me great advice the first time I met you.
Yeah.
I always remember it. And so I'm asking now, I have here our two sexy friends, what would be your first piece of advice to them as new CEOs of a chili company?
Take your time, make faults, but the strongest advice I can give is don't look about other people's success, look about their faults. You learn more if you look about the faults from success people, because success is easy, but even if somebody is getting millions, he has faults. So look about the faults. Then you can get better than him.
Gentlemen, Tom, John, any questions related to this for Ollie?
Yeah, what did you do wrong? We can learn.
Nothing.
What I did wrong. The first thing I did wrong is I kept myself small. I didn't advise myself. I didn't market myself. If you think your product is good, go outside and tell the people your product is good. That's what was my fault. I wasn't sure about it. You say, yeah, maybe people don't like it. No, if you think your product is okay, then it's okay. Just get out and tell the people, look at my product.
John, you got a question on that one?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I am trying to do, get out and tell people about it. And I've got more just now. Are your sauces, are you fermenting them or are they cooked?
Normally,
because I'm okay.
Nothing
Okay,
fermented.
and yeah, how did you get started like in developing new ideas for sauces? Because I mean, I seem to be, you know, Tom doesn't seem to have a problem with coming up with the interesting flavor profiles, but I seem to be like in the same kind of groove with all the things that I'm developing.
Okay.
Is it just trial and error, or how are you?
You have the jackpot. Why? The biggest inspiration for tastings is music.
That.
But cooking is like making music. It's like compositing something.
Yeah, I always said that.
New things, you know. It's like music. It's actually the same.
Yeah.
I'm very interested now that Ollie's shared his biggest disaster, what your boys' biggest disasters were. Tom, what was your biggest disaster so far? Tom?
Yeah, getting in touch with you, mostly.
All right. Punishment for everyone because of that statement. Gentlemen, I think it's hot sauce time. Schlonte. Carolina Reaper doesn't stop giving, man. Fuck.
That's why you're looking like Chilli Klaus.
John, yeah. So far, my biggest disaster, chili-wise, I've had a lot of disasters otherwise, but I was actually, Tom will know about this one. I tried fermented sauce. This was a couple, I think 2 months ago. And I thought it was going to be delicious. I mean, the sound of the flavors together, it was habanero, red habaneros, strawberry, rhubarb, and limes, right? And I was fermenting it, and I mean, this sounds okay. And then I took it out and was starting to process, and it was one of the strangest things I'd ever smelled, and like aggressively peculiar taste, like really. But it hadn't gone bad, or it wasn't moldy, and it didn't. It was just, you know, like profoundly strange. Yeah, and I had to throw it all away. It was a complete waste. But I mean, now I've learned not to do that again, so that's good.
I think one of my biggest disasters was to do with fermentation as well. I stupidly tried at the beginning to buy fermented mash from unreliable companies. I think Ollie even remembers this. And one of those fermented mashes blew up in my face. And I got Reaper mash in my ears, nose, eyes, and mouth. And then because I had no more chilies, I had a deadline, I had to get more. And so I drove from Nuremberg to fucking the Netherlands. I forget where in the Netherlands now. It will come to me in a moment. And I did so with my head swollen so much from fucking Carolina Reapers that I could breathe through one hole in my lung, but both eyes were swollen. One I could see through ever so slightly, and even the inside of my ears were swollen. And so therefore, yeah, fermented chilies. It's something you should only play with if you've really got the background in that shit. That's what I'd say, definitely, man. Jesus.
Yeah, but yours is fermented, right? The Madame Jeanette in Tom's, right? Or
I wanted to tell you, I recently found out that it's better to add the fruits after fermenting, because fermenting extracts all the sugars and all the good flavors. So then you get this really funky flavor. So you can try it again, but do the rhubarb and the strawberries afterwards. That might work.
With rhubarb, rhubarb is technically a vegetable. Do you think it's got a lot of sugar in it that would affect the the ferment? Or
maybe you can keep the rhubarb in, but strawberries afterwards.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But
yeah, that's a very good idea. It's a very good idea.
Gentlemen, I had a question for you. Second, Sasha. When you said you were describing the sauce that you're tasting now, you said lots of nuts, and I was nuts. What's in there? What are you talking about? Oh, don't give away too much if you're in development. But
I just did a little bit of research on Mexican mole, and most of them nuts like cashew, almonds, seeds, pumpkin seeds. I think I put in this batch sunflower seeds as well. Like it's a very nutty and more body to the sauce as well.
Yeah.
May I interrupt there? You also can use like peanuts. Peanuts is very nice for sauces. Yeah. Like just peanut butter, things like that, or butter from nuts. It's easy to cook with, so you have a nutty flavor in it.
Yeah, and I must say, Ollie is a real specialist with that. Gentlemen, you're very good health. Cheers. Now, guys, Tom and John, when I first went to Oliver's place, I met his beautiful Mrs. Abenteuer Chilli, Wilma. You always find behind every great chili guy is a much greater chili woman somewhere. And I remember I turned up there with my first cook plan. I'm sure Oliver remembers well. I had I printed it out on Excel, my plan of how to do my first cook. And I put it on a flow chart, and I used different colors in order to, like differentiate. What do I do? There's Mrs. Abenteuer Chilli, the beautiful Wilma. The only reason Oliver does not destroy his business is standing right behind him, right there. Oliver and Wilma, my favorite woman in the world, apart from my missus, of course. So I remember I turned up and with my flow chart with its colors, and I showed it to Oliver and Wilma, and they laughed at me so hard, I thought someone was going to piss themselves. That's what happened. And told me, stop being so ridiculous. Don't be so unrealistic. What are you fucking... Very nice. If I remember, Oliver's comment was, very nice colors, Sasha. Yeah. And that was about that. Yeah. But however, Oliver taught me a little something about planning, which was that what Ollie taught me was short-term planning is a bit too in the air. There's too many variables that can go along. But Ollie also taught me about long-term planning. Ollie taught me that long-term planning is important. You need to have a kind of a plan, but you have to be flexible on it, yeah? And so I've, over the years, told Ollie my plans, and he's told me, don't be a fucking idiot, or he's told me, brilliant idea, one of the two. So I'm reckoning Ollie could probably help you out with your plans. John, Tom, you got a plan, one of you? You want to throw it at Ollie and see what his input is?
Oh, big question, that it's a very big question. Just put it out like that.
I know. Plans, they especially. I mean, I've learned from my business, the music business, is that you don't and sometimes I fall into this trap. I say it to my wife all the time: you don't get excited about anything or get your hopes up until you are, at the gig or you sign the contract. It's like I've had my, hopes dashed so many times with, people call and they're like, oh yeah, we got this great gig. We're gonna get $10,000. They're gonna have catering every day and blah blah. I mean, it's and then it never happens, So I've learned after a lot of times of being disappointed to sort of limit my expectations or my optimism, if that's a way to put it. And I feel like I've sort of, it might not be a good thing with this kind of setup for the sauce business to not really plan as far ahead, because it's like a defense of getting disappointed later. But it's the wrong way to think about it for this, But
so you have no long-term plan, John?
Of course. I mean, because of the type of sauce that it is, I'm thinking more. I would like to get into some of the larger shops and restaurants and this thing, and then I mean, I've got big picture plans, because it may turn into other products and things after, because the company that I started is it's called Uncle Johnny Foods and not the hot sauce. So I might go into other products after we are developed and established.
Now, that's an interesting thing that you mentioned there about going into bigger stores. This is an issue that Ollie and I have thrown around a lot, because in our area, for those of you who are not from Germany, we've got a lot of large stores. If they take you on, then you're going to be a lot of product being sold. For example, Metro is a large-scale seller over here. Number of supermarkets as well. And I also started off down this road. Ollie, I know you've had experience on this side of things with people like pepperworld.eu and Metro and so on. So, Ollie, what's your thoughts on those people?
The problem is, it's not just in Germany. It's like it's worldwide. It's a business thing. If you get in touch with big companies, they're gonna push you down. They try to get your money. So they want to push your percentage down and pay you less, and you have to produce. And it's like a blood sucking. You know what I mean? It's not so easy.
Specifically, Ollie, I remember your input on this one about Pepperworld. Now, for those of you who don't really know the chili world, Pepperworld's a really nice one to get involved in as a chili seller, because they've got a fuck ton of customers. But on the other side, if you get involved in that shit, get ready to make 20 cents per bottle in terms of profit.
It's like a supermarket. It's like a supermarket. Yeah. The problem is you have to make decisions. If you want to go in big producing, you have to produce with very little amount of money, much amount of products. That's one way. That's the big way, and the other way is just to do like manufacturing, like to the customer himself, And myself, I think Sasha did it also. We choose the customer. So the nice thing about this, I have more flexibility in my business, and I can do healthier products. I don't have to push the prices down, so I can put very nice ingredients in it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how it costs. If it's good, the customer buys it. So, but that's not a way with supermarkets and things like that, because supermarket is just it's like just money pushing. You throw anything on the market and give it. These are real amounts, like 100, 200, 300,000 products in a year, and that's I don't know if it's interesting. That's the way for supermarkets, you know. But if you want to get in a real quality way, you have to get the manufacturer.
Ollie, can you give us an idea? Is there a way to move into large-scale production, for large-scale distribution, for example, supermarket distribution, maintaining quality and being able to make a profit on it?
That's if you live in Mexico, something like that. Not here in Europe. You have to produce elsewhere because the prices of your ingredients are too high. So how you can make a good quality sauce in a range from €3? It's not really possible. It's not possible from 200 milliliter.
Now, Tom, I'm wondering about your side of things, buddy boy. Do you have some kind of plans in your head that you might like to run by our friend, the genius here?
But actually, the plan that apparently my mom already did and failed that, so I learned from that mistake. But yeah, I would love to have a bigger production and, you know, have a small production facility. And I don't need to be rich, get rich off of it, just, you know, living, doing something you love doing. So I think wholesale a little bit and, you know, trying to get your product out, you know, maybe globally.
I think the only way to get bigger in this is to decrease your own time for producing. That's the only way to get bigger. So yeah, you have to do it with machines and something that don't lose your quality.
Mm-hmm.
You have you increase your time. Anyway,
when you talk about production, Ollie, I know that John's got a very interesting setup. Now, John, correct me if I'm wrong on this, please, but I believe John has partnered up with, is it Bus Foods you partnered up with? It's right, isn't it? Yeah. And they're running production side of things and distribution for you, isn't that right?
Well, it's I'm there with them during production for the first times, and we're doing it together. And the distribution, yeah, but it's I'm running through Boss Food, and they're helping me out in this side of it. Yeah.
So what's your opinion, Oliver? Because I mean, from all of the sauce companies I know, John is a bit of an exception in that John came in initially with a production and distribution partner. Wasn't just John doing it himself. What do you think, Ollie? Does that sound like it's going to be long term a good plan, or should John try and free himself from that structure?
It can be a good plan, but it's a little bit the dangerous thing, because you have to take care to I would say that the partner don't overcome you.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's the dangerous thing.
Well, I mean, the Boss Food connections that they've got, or it's really, I think, a good thing to be that I was able to get associated with them, with the name they have in the food industry here, and
in the first, it's a good thing for sure. Yeah. You have to take care to get your. You have to get contracts. That's very, very important, because in this there are no friends. There are no friends, just like us. Okay, but I had so much problems with other. If you don't have contracts to really say, okay, this is your receipt, this is your sauce, and that you know, that's the only danger.
My company,
if you have a contract, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Ollie told me stories about partnership issues that made me shit in my pants. They really did. I mean, if I ever cracked myself, it was in this whole hot sauce adventure I've been on. It was after Ollie told me about different experiences he had with partnerships, I mean companies distributing, companies selling on markets for you, potentially people producing as well. And I mean, for me, Ollie, this is one you might be able to clear up for me as well. Like, from my perspective, I find it very difficult to work out how to be successful in my partnership with other people. How would you say, Oliver, like all three of us here listening right now, contracts, obviously, but then, I mean, what are the tips to a long-term successful business relationship with distributors, with producers? What's your feeling?
You have to make sure that these people get their money. So if somebody gets in partnership with you and have the feeling he doesn't get enough money from you, he's gonna cheat you. So you have to look about to be like, like fair in prices, and see that the other people also make money. If you don't do that, you're off the business, or in the whole chili business. If you're gonna cheat anybody in the chili business or make anybody bad, you don't last long.
Yeah, one thing I picked up, actually, you know what? I forget who I picked it up from, but that's really been helpful for me was someone tapped me on the shoulder once and said to me, Sash, when you contact distributors who are going to be selling your sauce, take them an amount of money, i.e. go to them and say, here's your recommended retail price, here's your wholesale price. And with this, you can be guaranteed a minimum of, let's say, 26% income for you, you know, as an individual. And this has served me pretty well over time, I have to say, in terms of percentages. But it was one of those problems I came to. Hey, it's about time for some hot sauce, I'd say. Excuse me, I'm doing a hit. Anyone joining me? I love it.
I'm coming.
Okay. So, I mean, this was a problem that Ollie put me onto years ago. He told me horror stories about business partnerships, and it was a problem I didn't foresee that came to me. And I'm wondering about you two guys, Tom, for example. What kind of problems do you foresee in the future for you?
I would have some problems, so there's always logistics, you know, your stuff coming in on time. Or recently had an issue with my books coming from the UK with Brexit, that they were basically fucked up. So that was a pick to deal with.
I can tell you right now, Tom, if you're doing I had a conversation with a company in Belgium, not Chili Sauce, one of the other ones, not long ago. And the guy there thought I was selling sauce from the United Kingdom. Right? And then he said to me, Sash, we love your product. We love all you do. But at the moment, it costs me more time and money to import from UK to Europe than it costs me to import from Canada to Europe. So my tip to you would be do what I've done. Apart from one main supplier who I'm very loyal to, I've shifted everything out of the UK during Brexit, would be my tip on that, Tom.
Yeah, I'm definitely a new bottle supplier because
I can give you a nice contact for you, for all of you in Germany, for chili plantation. If you can put it in your mind, the name is POW, Bio, and Chi. This guy is a new guy. He's a friend of mine a long time ago. He was working at Pepper Old Hot Shop. He broke up with them, and now we have a really, really big chili plantation. From everything you want, from habaneros to Reaper to Rocotos, everything. And yeah, if you need plants, if you need chilies, just Google Bio and Chi. And yeah, the name is Alexander Hicks.
Cool.
He's a nice guy, and he's a really, really big knowledge of chili.
That's the guy with the bio-certified Reapers, isn't it?
Nope, this one is the Austrian one.
Ah, okay, I got you. John, mate, so what about you? What kind of problems do you foresee that Ollie might have some insight on?
I think it's problem is just reaching the market and getting people to know and to or actually to take the step from knowing about the sauce to actually buying it, because I think that's like when I'm not like you've got your built-in store with the Chilli Lounge, and but right now I'm just available online and at the Chili Punk place, but it's so it's kind of difficult to get it into people's hands. I think right now that's the biggest obstacle, you know.
That's a bloody good question, John. Yeah, Ollie, what's your input?
A very nice, very easy solution. Just get out, try to get on markets if it's possible now in the Corona time. I don't know, not markets like farmers markets, nothing like that. Just get on how you say help me out there, Veranstaltungen.
Yeah, exhibitions.
Yeah, things like that, so you can very easily get to the customer himself and get your feedback from there. It's very important in the first time you get your feedback from your customer himself when you see the guy, not online and things like that. No, person per person, you know. And then you see what's happening. If your sauces is good, what you can change, blah blah blah. It's about the bottles, it's about the size, it's about everything. You hear directly from the customer what's needed on the market. Yeah, it's the easiest way, because if you stand yourself with a table in any, let's say, city, downtown, with a small flyer thing and show your sauce there, you will see the people come to you. It's really, you have to start from very below to get to the customer itself.
Yeah,
it's not about money or marketing. No, it's just the first step to see what the customer is saying. Okay, because you can have a bunch of money from millions and you don't know what's customers needed to. No.
So if I had millions, then I would.
I wouldn't make Chilli, yeah.
Millions. Is that your target, John? Millions?
No, not really. I mean, I'd love to just be able to, you know, make hot sauce and play music, and that'd be fantastic.
Very similar to me. Very similar to me. My target is really easy. Myself and Mrs. 420 would like to have a couple of kids and a dog and a cat, maybe 2 dogs, who knows. Not hybrid children dogs, I mean separate animals, you know what I'm saying?
Dogs.
Yeah. That would be a bit more Island of Dr. Moreau, which would be scary. But, you know, that's it. It's as simple as that. I spent many years going in shitty grey offices to try and get enough money to be able to do that kind of thing. And I'd like to be able to do that kind of thing by being surrounded by color, as you see, and wonderful people like yourselves. And so that's about my target, I'd say. I see Ollie laughing there. You know what? I think both of you, what you really need to do is the same thing that my wife has done, right? And we've all learned it from Wilma, that's Mrs. Abenteuer Chilli. Mrs. Abenteuer Chilli, that's Ollie's wife, the power behind the machine, is very, very good at doing this. 9, 9, 9. And this is extensively helpful for me in terms of putting my targets in order, you know? Like Wilma will just before I even begin a sentence, will just tell me no, you know? And my missus has learned that from her. And I'd suggest that your Mrs. John, Mrs. Uncle Johnny's, and Mrs. White Whale might wish to start that as well. It's extremely helpful, I would suggest. That's why. What's your target, Tom? Do you have a target?
Yeah, like I said, just make a comfortable living doing what I like, making hot sauce. That's it.
Fair target. Ollie, do you still have a target after 8 years?
Yeah. It's not about, first I have to scroll back. The nicest thing I have ever experienced is the day when I stay outside anywhere, markets, whatever, and the customer is standing in front of me, tasting the sauce or the product I have, and look me in the eye and says, thank you that you are here with your product. That's priceless. That's it.
Oh.
That's what I'm doing. And if you have your that's the target. That's the target, just to get the people happy. And if you have a target, when you don't lose the target, you'll never need a plan. You never need a plan. That's it. You have to have your target. You will come there. Don't lose it.
Oh, I've got to ask you, the question that often comes up in my mind is to do with, like, John, for example, our boy Johnny has got a delicious product in Uncle Johnny's hot sauce. Oh, it looks like it's hot sauce time. All right, Oliver, we're on, my friend. Yes, sir. Slante, good health, long life.
Don't wake me up. Don't wake me up, don't you?
Oh, it gets harder every hit, man. Now, Ollie, I would describe, if I wanted, I've had the, excuse me.
No, give it one more.
Right, one more. Ollie, you know you shouldn't ask me questions like that, motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm coming with you.
Now, I tried Johnny's sauce and I also tried Tom's sauce, yeah? And I tell you what, the cool thing, Ollie, with Johnny's sauce, I would say is this, yeah? Johnny's sauce is just a really smooth, everyday sauce, yeah? There's just nothing that it doesn't go with, that stuff. It goes with everything, yeah? We got to the point with Johnny's sauce where my missus and I were arguing about what we're going to put it on, because it went so good with everything, just like on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? So my missus would be like, don't waste it on the pizza. Save it for the blah, 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 the risotto that's coming later. And with Tom's sauce, the white whale, his flagship sauce, it's also got a really delicate flavor profile. It's got a bit more kick to it than Johnny's sauce has. So it's less of a like a all over everything sauce, but it's one of those sauces that you definitely want to have in those specific moments, yeah? And I often think about the difference between focusing on one sauce, like a flagship sauce, or focusing on a range, yeah? I mean, like, Johnny, you're now developing your smoked, yeah? Yeah, and Tom, you're also going off with the Mexican mole based, yeah?
I got like 5 more.
There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, Johnny and Tom, like, how do you see your development? John, for example, do you see yourself, you mentioned the Uncle Johnny's foods. So you see yourself focusing on a range rather than a specific hot sauce, yeah?
This is still down the road, but I mean, Tom has actually been helping me with learning to ferment things. That's why I've had this disaster with the strawberry rhubarb. But I actually sent him some of my very first attempt at the fermentation, and this was seriously delicious. And I just did another one, and it was even better. And I've got one that's cooking right now, and so I'm, but this to do, maybe I could talk with Tom about it sometime. It's just to do on a larger scale is, I would think, pretty difficult, like logistically, how to get so much stuff fermenting and like and also it seems like every ferment is like its own living creature. It's different, and so like how do you keep up with consistency when you know I put the exact same ingredients 2 times and it comes out completely different when you it's just a strange thing. So I mean that's what was the question?
That's a good question you just posed there. I mean, fuck, Tom, Ollie, Tom, what's your input? At the moment, I'm producing soy sauce, yeah, which is a fermentation process. I'm using dark beer from my friend's brewery. Here it is, the Shantenbroy Brewery. Soybean. We're going to be selling soy sauce under the Oive Kitchen banner.
Really?
The new thing, yeah. And I'm also very interested to know, how can you be consistent with ferments? Tom, what's your input?
It's temperature control.
The
lactobacillus that ferment is mostly there's actually a whole range of it. It ferments at different so like around 19 degrees. I personally prefer have that much temperature control, but that's like low and slow. Because I once had a ferment in the middle of summer, like cupboard somewhere, and that stuff almost exploded out of the bottle. But that tasted completely. Oh.
Crazy. Ollie, you got some input on the ferment side of things?
I think he's right. It's if it's the same receipt and it's different things, I think it's the temperature also. Yeah.
Some outside influence, yeah. So it makes a lot of sense, because my first one was in I think spring. It was still pretty cool, and the second one of the same formula was when it was starting to get hotter. So it was crazy.
Okay,
but I mean,
the heat doesn't really depend on the fermenting process. I think the heat is just a natural thing, because you can get sometimes habaneros good hot, and next time you get habaneros, they have no heat. Yeah. So it depends also. You don't forget on the nature itself, sun, water, and so on.
I think actually that brings us to a very lovely point that we can close down with today as well. Everything depends on time, patience, and at the end, nature. Pressure. Correct. Well, listen, boys and girls out there in television land, we've had a lot of fun talking to each other. We hope you didn't get bored listening to us chili heads chillying it up with each other. But from myself and 420 Chili, from our boy Johnny and Uncle Johnny's hot sauce, from our boy Tom, and of course, white whale sauces, and from the unstoppable Ollie and our Bentoya Chili, all of us wish you a lot of luck with time and nature. And we'll just say ciao for now. Ciao. Ollie, less of the farting noises. Thank you very much, mate.
That's not my...
Okay.
You're smoking too much chili.